Originally, the program is supposed to be conducted in the norm for a period of about 1 month. We thought we cannot afford losing 1 month for the young scientists and teaching professionals and extension professors who are newly recruited. And university has a huge depth of manpower in all 3 fronts. So we thought we cannot afford 1 month training program. Instead, we condense it and have a separate program meant for our own scientists and our own requirements. That's how the program has been worked out. If you go through the content also, very important items have been picked up, and very promising and distinguished experts have been chosen for this task. This is not like a routine training program which we are visualizing. Basically, at my personal level, I see it as a vision. It's a vision building program, not only for university, not only for students, for all of it personal level, you should have a vision of what you are going to do in the years to come. And we are living in modern times, so what is in store for all of you is also very important. You are at the initial stage of building your careers, and this is a unique opportunity, and the potential of which you may not be unknown, I feel. It's a new field, and in the entire country there are around 4 universities. Only 4 universities dealing with horticulture exclusively. That's a unique opportunity for all of you, which will confer a lot of advantages, lots of maybe if you work hard, you will get a lot of awards in the days to come. I am visualizing your future because of the potential that is available in the horticulture sector. I see a lot of bubbling enthusiasm and energy when I recruit all of you. And by and large, I personally feel I have succeeded in selecting relatively meritorious candidates in spite of several pressures from various corners. Because this is an academic institution, I thought I must do justice at personal level. See that meritorious students are picked up so that it will help in building this new university. You are aware of the problems of our new state. It's just a 4.5 years old state, and ours is a new university, budding university. We had several issues right from the beginning. Right from bifurcation of employees, we have a lot of problems relating to infrastructure, whether it's college, whether it's farm. We don't have even university headquarters. So everything we had to build right from scratch. That has been a major challenge. And bifurcation had its own, pain. Even now total bifurcation is not completed. We have to get another 10, 15, candidates in your cadre who will join this team in the days to come. Maybe some of them will join directly. Some of them we may recruit in the short while from now, and we are very serious about it. We are fighting in the court of law, duly protecting the interest of Telangana, government interest, and it has been a very big challenge for all of us. So new university, several issues. Even then, we try to do justice at our level to see that something is done. Look at the infrastructure. Now, all the colleges, almost we are making them self-sufficient in terms of, say, hostel facilities, road network, playground, and building the instructional farms. Even now we have problem of accreditation for Mojalla College that we are about to resolve shortly, because somehow by virtue of my position in the government, I could procure some land for the Mojalla campus, and we are going to have instructional farm that will help in getting the accreditation for the college. So when you have problem, you must also bear in mind the throes of formation of new state, new university. We don't know many examples of forming new horticulture universities for information. There is one university in Solan in Himachal Pradesh which deals with both horticulture and forest. We have one Bagalkot University dealing exclusively with horticulture. And there is one college or university in Shimoga. It's a basically agriculture university, by and large it also deals with horticulture, commodities. So apart from that, these universities, two universities, both in Andhra and Telangana, we stand on a different footing. And because they are new universities, all the promotional avenues will be available for all of you. Within a short time, you will have promotions. You will be able to occupy important positions in the country in the horticulture, because in agriculture sector, horticulture is the only way. There is no option. Everybody knows it is not agriculture, but horticulture sector has lot of store, in increasing the income of farmers, in diversifying the high value crops. If you want to have value addition and processing, this is the only way. If you want to introduce new crops, new varieties, this is the only way. If you want to have real breakthrough in productivity, horticulture is the only way. And there are so many technologies which are coming through only in the horticulture sector. By and large, we have reached a plateau level in the agriculture sector because we were dealing with basically food grains, pulses and oil seeds, where by and large we have reached plateau level. Unless biotechnology comes to the rescue, unless we go for GMO technologies, there is not much that we can increase the productivity to have a quantum jump in the productivity level. That is not possible. But in horticulture, you take every crop, there is a huge potential we find. And this will also help in driving the engine of agriculture in the entire economy. GSDP of agriculture, horticulture are very important. And horticulture has a very high potential of having higher GSDP within agriculture sector. So you have to look at the careers. Don't get bogged down in the routine affairs. It is not going to bring you anything. We see as a new blood which is inducted into this university. You should not become like an old wine in new bottle. No, we don't want you to have such a shape where we say people will come and say, no, what happened, great thing with the new recruitments. It's like an old wine in new bottle. Once you induct anything new, anything young in the system generally, you also induct new changes. I have seen in Telangana state with the induction of our AEOs, who are fresh young people with professional degrees, they have changed the entire productivity of our department. Now the success of Raitu Bandhu, Raitu Bima schemes primarily vests with the young lot of those AOs who have contributed their might. By leveraging technology in implementation of these schemes, now we have reached such a level that everybody in the country are talking about Telangana agriculture in Telangana state. Now we are in limelight. Because of one cadre of people, that is, we call them AEOs, who are young people, IT-friendly people who have created a revolution in the agriculture department. We also look at you when I see the university, I look at you as people who will revolutionize the education, research and extension system in the horticulture sector. And career-wise, you will have a bright future, provided you work hard, you work with discipline, you work with dedication, with a high, quantum of professionalism. Ultimately, unless you have professionalism, nowadays have changed even in the research field. You produce a paper by plagiarism, publish an article, claim that you have published 10 articles, 20 articles of this rating, that rating. Those days have gone. Those days have gone. Future will expect what kind of technologies you are developing which can leverage new startup. Now there is a culture of startup. There is a T-Hub. And agriculture T-Hub, you find nothing there. Other sectors are able to progress. We have only 300 agricultural startups in our country. So for starting any incubation center, if you want to have potential in the agri-startup sector, where government is laying a lot of emphasis, you should produce such technologies which have linkage with the new agricultural startups which are coming. Dependence on state governments, central governments, IAS for funding will not be there. This is a very, very clear picture, because the funding will come from outside. The funding will come from those new startups with whom you can leverage technology. So unless you are innovative and you understand the modern society, modern requirements, and how each sector is progressing in the world, you will not have progress in the front. Don't get bogged down in the routine, papers. I know 90% of the papers are produced by plagiarism. IT is misused for getting papers printed, that's all. But this is the time you realize that don't go after papers, publications, not reading this and that. That will not going to bring any future for you. People will look for a spark in you. People will look for an innovation from you. Those innovations which will bring a revolution in the horticulture sector. You have to be a horticulture person. You cannot be, no, I am a spice person, I am nothing to do with fruits. No, you cannot say that. The third person will feel that you are a horticulture scientist. You should have basic knowledge about entire horticulture sector. And it is not that you have done PG, PhD in fruits. It doesn't mean that you should be confined to fruits. Because hands are limited. How many hands we have in horticulture, PGs and PhDs put together in the entire country? You can just count. So it's a small number, and the world expects everything that happens in agriculture from all of you in every faculty. So it is not teaching, research or extension. It is not fruit science, olericulture or landscape that matters. It is entire gamut of horticulture. You should have minimum expertise. Anybody, suppose I want to buy a land. Okay, then I will come to you. Any one of you will come. So what do you advise? You claim that you are a scientist in horticulture. You give me advice. I am having 10 acres of land. What should I do? What crop I should grow? What variety I should grow to have minimum this much income? I should have minimum income of say 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs per acre. Can you give me a suggestion? He will ask like that. He will not differentiate whether you are a fruit salesman or whatever salesman. No. So, now I am also directing the Director of Research to chalk out program for all these scientists. Though you are posted in certain research stations, it is not final, it is not fixed. Your postings are going to be, circulated. You will do research for some time, you will be teaching, you will be doing extension work at the same time, you will be touching different research stations. So my approach is different. Now we'll form a schedule, a calendar, and on a particular day, important research stations, entire community of scientists, they will visit. They will know what is happening in that fruit research station, and they will have learnings from that research station as to what is happening. Basically, you should be updated in whatever happens in the horticulture sector. That's how we are visualizing as a general horticultural experts, rather than confine yourselves to what you call silos in the university system. The basic problem which is being projected in all universities, general universities also. It is working in silos, having a straight jacket mentality. My room is this, my department is this, I will look at this way. This is called straight jacket thinking. That will not help in the present days. You should have a broad, set of things in your mind and progress in a broad way. Understand the modern society needs, understand the challenges and also opportunities available for you. There are several opportunities. Now, as a teaching also should look to student-centered learning. The new concept in teaching is not, transferring just like a downloading. Students will download whatever you say and that is teaching. No. Now, these are the days of student-centered learning. It is not teaching. It is not just transfer of whatever you know to the students. It is not just transfer. You have to make them learn. You have to give some material so that they will develop different layers based on the foundation given by the teacher. Now there are so many e-learning modules. Now we have prepared 2 smart classes. 2 smart classes also we have prepared. But you should utilize them. That whatever infrastructure we have put forth, smart classes, e-learning, they should be utilized by you. To update yourself, even in addition to traditional learning, you have what is called open source learning. They call MOOCs courses. Online you can do several courses. You can get the certification. Based on your passion, you can choose, such certifications where you feel comfortable, learn them on your own. And there are a lot of MOOCs or open source education courses which are available to you online, and they will test you online. They will award certification also online. That potential also is available in the present day. Several universities, now a lot of teachers, they claim that they have 20 degrees. Yes, it is possible. Within 6 months, you can learn a new subject online, undergo testing, and they will award certificate online. Such MOOCs courses, open learning courses also are available for the present students. So entire government of education, learning, knowledge building is undergoing change. Now we are talking of internet, nothing else. Everything linked to internet, everything linked to digital platform. Unless you work on digital platform, you will not be treated as a update student or update teacher. You need to be on the digital platform. Let it be extension. Even extension through digital platform, we should aim at reaching each of your beneficiaries. Because every beneficiary has a smart telephone nowadays. You can reach every beneficiary. The traditional systems of extension have undergone a lot of change now. You cannot just assemble people and try to talk to them like a TNV system we had in agriculture. Okay? Training and visit system, very old, age-old system in agriculture. But now, revolution is only through reaching out to people on a digital platform. And I'm telling you, you are going to compete with those people who are, we call them as digital natives. I don't know whether you're familiar with this word. There are 2 terms. Though I am using computer or software, I am treated as digital immigrant. Those who are born before internet is born, we call them as digital immigrants. By the time I was born, there was no computer. I don't know, by the time most of you are born, there was no computer. But by the time you have reached such a level, then the internet age has begun. The generation which is born after internet has come into force is treated as digital native generation. They are very, very vigorous. They are very, very aggressive because they are digital native generation. Right from few months they stand handling gadgets. Don't get a feeling that these guys are handling gadget and they are getting spoiled. No, that is their platform. Their future is digital platform. Don't think that they are deaf people. No. How Malala got the Nobel Prize? At the age of 14, 15. Can you visualize any person getting a Nobel Prize at the age of 15, 16 years in the history of human race? No. Why? This digital native generation has got the advantage. If you do some good work, you can put it on online, you can put it on YouTube, entire world watches. If you do something is good, the entire world will come to know. This is a very, very advantageous times. Those who show talent, if you have a talent, you post it in YouTube, you see everyday world. Some new breed of singers are coming up. They are in the internet and entire world watches and they become, yeah, here is a talent. We are not living in a traditional society now. So, I am quoting that example of Nobel Prize winner, Malala. She was somewhere in Pakistan, Gujarat, Afghanistan, working on child education. And her work, her struggle for educating the illiterates in Afghanistan and Pakistan like countries, in the Muslim countries, caught the attention of entire world, entire media, entire political system of the world. They recognized her merit and she got Nobel Prize. So this is the beauty of this generation. You have that advantage, but you are again digital immigrant generation. You have to compete with the digital native generation, which is going to be a tough fight. You have to be prepared for that. This younger generation, we call them as a wild card generation, post-internet generation. That will be a different kind of generation, and this generation will have different sorts of problems in the entire world, and they will also solve such problems with the same aggressiveness. I am talking in general what is happening in this world in terms, generations. In the history of human race, till 17th century, in the history of entire human race, till 17th century, India was a leader in everything. We are leader in culture, leader in GDP. We were number one in GDP in the entire world. Why? Because farming was the only profession, there was nothing else. And we have a huge population with huge chunks of land, and we were number one. Once industrial revolution set in 18th, 19th centuries, we have become just like a knife, and Western countries holding like a AK gun. We are not able to compete. But now, on the digital platform, a kid in Hyderabad, a kid in New York, you take a kid in Hyderabad, a kid in New York, they are able to fight with same competitive spirit and on the same platform. That is the advantage we have in the developing countries now. Now it's not like 18th century, 19th century where we lag behind. Now we have the young population who are on the digital platform, and our number is more. If we include China and India, the youngest platform on a digital platform is very huge. And no American, no European young population can compete with these young people on this digital platform. So that's why after 2 decades, 3 decades, India and China if our young population is nurtured well, given proper education, given proper direction and motivation, they are going to be number one in the cut, and India, China will rule the world in the days to come. They have got that advantage. So this is we call them as wild card generations which are coming through, and you have to compete with those generations. So being in Telangana, horticulture sector in Telangana is a focused sector and it's a result giving sector. We have proved, within 4 years we have proved that technology, change of crops, change of varieties in horticulture, method of cultivation has given very good impact. And everybody is talking about the horticulture sector in Telangana now, which you should take advantage being in the horticulture sector. And nowadays the government, everybody is talking of value addition and processing linked to crop colonies. Should know what is this concept which government is thinking. Should understand this implication and work towards it. It's a different chapter talking about what is crop colony and what is the importance of value addition and processing. In the present day, I think you will know. What we have done in the last 4 years in the horticulture sector, just to summarize in one sentence, we worked on pandals, we worked on mulching, we worked on giving micro irrigation, we worked on giving fertigation. We have introduced new varieties and crops in horticulture sector. We have started polyhouse scheme on a big scale. They have stabilized. They are able to supply the exotic vegetables and fruits to the Hyderabad city. We found again polyhouses are very expensive, very capital intensive. Per acre you need to invest 30-35 lakhs, which is a very difficult proposition. We have again done some research at local level. Now we are suggesting shade nets, a kind of shade net technology which you will see in Mulugu COE in your training program. Now polyhouse we have replaced with some other technology which will cost about 10 lakhs, not more than 10 lakhs per acre. From 30-35 lakhs we have brought down to 10 lakhs so that in summer we can grow the vegetables. Now there is a polyhouse technology that is coming up. They call it retractable polyhouses. When the temperatures are high, they retract. So such polyhouse technologies are also coming, which you have to learn about it. And we have established 2 centers of excellence which you are about to visit. One at Jidimedla, meant for flowers and vegetables. One at Mulugu, meant for fruit crops. We have done this COE, and Venkatram Reddy has taken a lot of interest in developing these 2 centers of excellences. In Mulugu we have 7 crops, I don't know, 35-40 varieties of germplasm we have there. And we are lucky to say that our FRS Sangareddy has got 500 germplasm varieties of mango. Our grape station has 70 germplasms of. We have some potential. We have some proven strength in horticulture, which we should be capitalized by all of you. We have a turmeric experience, good experience. We tried to bring a revolution in turmeric by changing method of cultivation, raised bed system, micro irrigation, drip irrigation, then post-harvest management, processing, polishing, introducing high curcumin varieties. We are bringing a revolution in turmeric. We are number 1 in turmeric in the entire country in area and production, but productivity we were poor. Now we want to make impact in turmeric, so which is one subject having a lot of potential, which you should be aware and you should keep working on it. Precision farming is the talk of the day. So high density plantations, increasing 5 times, 6 times of traditional planting population, canopy management, precision farming connected with high density plantation. They go together by and large, because we have to apply precise quantity of water, precise quantity of macronutrients in precise farming, and whatever data mining, data analytics we are talking about is related to precision farming. Ultimately, we are on the verge of developing a matrix right from input, output, marketing, processing till it reaches consumer. We have to develop such matrix including soil and weather so that we develop models. This is a broad area for all of you. I am throwing an idea. You are calling data analytics. Huge database has to be collected in precision farming. For each crop, for each year, for each day, how much water it has used, how much fertilizer it has used. Huge database. Normally it is not possible to analyze. But now data analytics has come to our fore, so that with the help of data management, you develop a matrix where these are the inputs, this is a type of agroclimate condition, this is going to be your productivity, this is going to be end product after processing and validation, and this is the price the farmer will get. So market linkage with farmer by leveraging technology to the entrepreneur is the main business which you have to work in the days to come. That is the only field where a lot of income will emerge. Traditional farming, sustenance farming will not help in increasing income. So this matrix you have to understand, and you have to keep working in every camp wherever you are working. Recently we have gone to one institution called NIFTM, which is a government of India institution dealing with the processing, incubation centers, startup. We are going to have MOU with the NIFTM because of model code conduct. We are not able to do it now. So they are ready to enter into MOU. So there will be training programs and exposure visit to NIFTM for our students and for also our teachers. Mulugu, we are starting with a new campus now. Maybe next month it will be ready. Our own students have done landscape planning for our new campus, Mulugu. So in all aspects, now infrastructure is getting ready. Hostels, staff quarters, administrative blocks, academic blocks, everything is getting ready. And in the labs, we have sent our team of scientists to NIFTM because that is the latest institution which is available there. So whatever new latest instrumentation is required, we have worked out. It can be GCMS, it can be liquid chromatography or electron microscope, whatever latest things are there, we are furnishing in the new instrumentation lab. That will be very useful for all of you for conducting research. So Mulugu is going to be one of the, I don't know world class or nation class, but it is going to be a class of its own university headquarters campus with latest equipment and laboratories, and that advantage is also there for you from the next academic year. Next academic year, PG students will not come here, they will go to Mulugu. Probably we may have a batch of another BSc horticulture students there also, maybe 50 students. We may start one batch in Mulugu also from this academic year. In the ensuing MSET will increase the strength because horticulture by and large is having a potential. So new batch of degree students also will be there in the Mulugu. Degree students, PG students, PGC students, with the all smart classrooms and smart laboratories, if you call them. It is going to be a beautiful campus with landscape planning, and that will become an ideal university headquarters, and that will become a tourist place in the days to come. From entire country, the university people, they come and see what else that has happened in Mulugu in the horticulture university. So we are going to attract the attention of all the universities in next few months. I have gone through the items where you are proposed now training, experts will be coming. I find even finance, audit, accounts, very, very important now. You are going to be the drawing and dispersing officers, isn't it? You don't know what is audit, what is finance. You do in the experiment, what is the finance implication, how we should maintain account. From audit angle, what are the perspective things which you should know? That is very, very important. Not just doing research alone will help you. If you don't follow proper financial procedures, which will satisfy audit teams, don't maintain proper accounts for whatever work you are doing, you will end up in problem. So it is also very, very important in addition to doing research, teaching and extension job. Climate change is a new subject because if you are any scientist in agriculture field, outsider will ask you, what are you doing about climate research? So in your research, climate resilient varieties has to be priority. So anything, any technology which will deal with climate is going to be occupying very, very important position, even in a research. So please focus on climate change subject. You are doing research any crop, any item, but you should have leverage when everybody talks about climate change. That's a very important subject in your careers in addition to IT which I mentioned. IT anyway, Internet of Things you have to utilize, but in addition to that, climate change is one buzzing subject which is on the cards and with which you have to work. Every one of you should know this and work on this so that anybody asks you about climate change, you should be able to tell confidently that yes, I am also doing research from that perspective. Organic production, lot of potential because agriculture now some organic production is coming through, but horticulture somehow there is no science in organic productions. And biopesticides, biofungicides, you should learn because everybody is talking of organic production for our crops, which are the important pests and diseases for which biopesticides, biofungicides can be utilized. You should be able to say citrus greening, yes, this is Pseudomonas fluorescens, so and so, so and so. Banana root knot nematode, this is the fungi we can use. Phaeomyces, some linosis, something like that. So all biopesticides and biofungicides, how to prepare them, how they are useful for our crops is very, very important subject because everybody is talking of organic production. When you talk of organic production, everybody should have in your hand one document. NCOF. Document parent. Document will give. We should give them. Because if some product has to be certified, that is organic, a level has to be given, then they have to follow that document. Very simple document. Just you spend a few hours studying it, you will know. There is no great science involved in. But there are certain basic do's and don'ts. You should not use this, you can only use this, so that you can have the level of organic. Some organic, we have not taken keen interest so far because it has not been a science so far. It's not a science. They say Gomutram, Panchagavya, this and this, somehow I am not convinced as a science student, unless that Gomutram is brought into a research station. We analyze the contents. Because of this enzyme, say this chemical, the productivity is getting doubled. You prove, make a trial, make a statistical analysis, RPD, whatever design you want, establish that this farm, which is a product of organic farming, is proved to be superior, then only I can say that organic farming is science. As and today, organic farming is not a science. It is every layman who is talking about. But you can make it science if you do some experiments in your dissertation on an organic way, following the document. That's all. That's why I'm saying, talking about the document. You follow the document, conduct some trials, and what is the output? You compare with the control plot where you apply pesticide, chemicals, and see what is the difference it makes. It's not one trial, one experiment. Organic farming is a 3 years process. There is a conversion period. You have to understand its philosophy, then follow it and prove that it is superior, then only we can treat it as science. We have developed in some research stations some methods in favor of organic farming, but somehow I am not convinced unless we do research, unless we evaluate organic field with the inorganic as a control plot, reference plot, and do statistical analysis, do our trials in the required manner, then only we can say that organic farming is superior. We cannot say that Gomutram just apply for 1 acre, you will get 20 times yield. No. Who is that fellow, millet fellow now giving speeches on WhatsApp? Khader, he talks of everything. As if millet is a amrutam. It cannot be. It cannot be. We are science students. We know what is there in millets. This is the protein, this is the fiber, these are the minerals. Yes, they are good for health. But it's not that it will cure cancer. You will say every minute you eat and there is no cancer. How can it happen? It cannot happen. It's not a science. So please beware of these people. And don't talk about them unless you are convinced as a science student. Science student must have an open mind. You have a scientific temper. Analyze every statement with the understanding of science. That's why we are called science students. We should have open mind and question them, analyze them. If it is proven in the field by doing experiment, by doing research, then only we can believe in that. Otherwise, no. So unless you do research, you cannot say that you are practicing organic farming. You have to prove in your research stations. You take your crop, conduct trials, and this is one area you have to focus because it is need of the hour. So climate change, organic, using of IT, leveraging your technology for new startups, new incubation centers. We are proposing to have some new incubation center in our university also. But somehow we have to evaluate whether we have technologies which can be used for our startups. Are we in a position, are we capable enough to leverage technology so that some new fellow will start an agri startup and we can establish incubation center. We have to reach that stage. We have to develop those technologies so that they can be realized by those people. Though this startup culture is very, very relevant for all of you, for your generation. Food safety is very, very important subject for horticulture. In all vegetables, you find MRL, minimum residue levels are very, very high. So organic linked to food safety. So it's very, very important how you reduce MRL levels in our crops, particularly those crops which we eat, vegetables, fruits. For example, chili is not getting exported because of athletics in program. That's also an issue. We are not able to export the groundnut, which is a field crop, because of aflatoxin. So aflatoxin is one subject. Then pesticide residue level in our crops, whether vegetable, fruits, whatever we can eat, is also very, very important subject you should know. Traceability is very, very important subject. Once you have a commodity, you should be able to trace it out. If farmer is using a seed, should be able to trace up to nucleus seed. What is the foundation seed used? What is the breeder seed used? What is the nucleus seed? Entire chain, seed supply chain, we should be able to have traceability. Then only we can say that it's a genuine seed. So in some crops like chili, traceability is very, very important. Because it is handled by nurserymen. Seed is supplied by somebody, nurseryman raise a nursery, and farmer will perform nursery, the seedling. So here traceability will become very, very important. Those who are working in chili field, please work on the subject which is need of the hour, traceability. Of course, we have not reached so far discussing about nanotechnologies, but which will have future. Now everybody is talking of nanotechnology. Let it be nano zinc, which is a slow release fertilizer of zinc. Nano silver, which is used for increasing shelf life. Nano capsule, which will help in delivery of specific quantity of herbicide is very, considered very toxic. That's why nanotechnology is helping in the sense, exact quantity of herbicide it will deliver if you use nano capsules. Nanomagnets, they help in elimination of soil contaminants. So nanotechnology utility in horticulture. Please be aware of it. Anybody will ask you, if you want to face any interview, they will talk about these things only. The discussion and questions will revolve around these issues. So your career also will be linked to these issues. Exports, very important subject. Whatever crop you deal. Hear from the Asst professors about the learnings they have made out of this 10 days capsule. And so I was told that almost 50 sessions have been completed in this package of 10 days package. So on the whole, was it okay? So whatever you feel like, this should have been included. Okay? Or we want to learn this also. Whatever ideas you have, whatever feelings you have inside, you can express, you can put it on paper, okay, in the feedback report. If you want any improvement for the future also you can add. But still, you have a lot of challenges. Because, mentioned by one of your colleagues, breeding is one subject in horticulture which has been neglected. Just you look back in the last few years, in the horticulture crops, we cannot claim that we have released so-and-so variety which is now ruling in the farmers' fields. This is unfortunate. But this subject requires our attention. So breeding is very, very important, task before any scientist, isn't it? Unless you breed, you cannot create new variety or hybrid. And whenever a common man or a farmer thinks of scientists, they think of only new varieties to start with. What is the variety that has come up in any of our horticulture crop? That is the first question raised by the farmer. So that remains the biggest challenge for all of us. So how to develop good varieties, whether it is a self-pollinated crop, cross-pollinated crops, through selection or cross-breeding, whatever methodology is there, or through mutation breeding, there is a need to develop more varieties. So breeding is one important dimension, whoever is working in the research station. So wherever it is possible, we have to start thinking of developing new varieties or hybrids. You yourself have mentioned that in vegetables, there is no seed or variety or hybrid which is developed by university in the recent past. I feel almost 99% of hybrid seed, which is with the farmer now, it is being supplied by the private companies. So the R&D in our universities has lagged behind, and because of liberalization in every sector, including agriculture, now private sector R&D has taken over, and they are coming with every year new varieties, new hybrids and new selections. In vegetables you find 100% vegetable seed is hybrid only. There are now open pollen varieties as far as vegetables are concerned. And sometimes, I think 2 years back, we faced the problem of spurious seed in chili. He was mentioning about, Dr. Bhaskar was mentioning about chili. And chili is one crop which is very, very important from the perspective of providing quality seed to the farmer. The seed of chili was black marketed 2 years back, and there was a major human cry from the farming community, and some of the ministers, they were contacting me, sir, I want this Teja variety of chili. So you tell the company fellow to supply to me. That was the period just 2 days back. I was surprised. They were asking half kilo, 1 kilo, something like that. They were asking, they were after these private hybrids because of certain conditions, maybe unfavorable seasonal conditions. The seed could not be produced in sufficient quantities during that year, and during the same period we find lot of cases of spurious seed in chili. In fact, the government was forced to enact the PD Act in favor of spurious seed offenders. That was the occasion. PD Act was passed and provision was made in the PD Act to take action against the spurious seed offenders, and 4 or 5 company MDs were put behind the bars because the problem was so acute. After that we came to know that it is also linked to nursery problem in chilies. The company will not directly supply seed to the farmers in case of chili. Most of the chili seedlings are picked up by the farmers for the nurserymen. Then what we have done, we have also made new act under nursery rules and act, and we gathered all the nurserymen of our state at one place. We trained them in the new seed, new act, new rules. We sensitized them. We told them the power of this act and penal provisions, and we gave a lot of literature to those nurserymen in the shape of a kit. Just like that, you had training, you are provided with kit. We have done for nurserymen also. So like that, sometimes if you are poor in breeding, then we fail to prevent spurious seed problem. And breeding for those varieties, if you are saying abatic and biotic, I am specifically mentioned the climatic resilience. That is the most important challenge the world will face in the days to come. So when you breed for varieties, keep in view the resilience for adverse climate. So climate change is a reality and its implications are known to us. In fact, if you want to mention few challenges that 21st century will be facing, one important challenge will be climatic change. We discussed about digital native generation. I am happy to say that you remembered it and repeated it. So it is basically 21st century generation. In Western countries, the internet came after 1991, CERN. CERN was responsible for inventing internet in 1991. So maybe 90s we can treat them as those who are born after 91. Technically they are treated as digitally native generation. But for countries like India, where children really have become digitally native, we can say 21st century. Beginning of 21st century, we can say the digital native generation. That means those children who are born after 2000, 10, 15 years, intermediate another 2 years, 17, then graduation. So almost the batches, I don't know, they might have entered our college or they are going to enter in our institutions. They are all digital native generations. And sociologists treat this generation as wild card generation. They call them 2.0 generation, or they also call them Z generation. But it doesn't end by discussing about Z generation or 21st century born generation, because all your children will belong to this generation. One major challenge in countries like us is nurturing this generation. That is the major challenge. You have mentioned about student-centered learning. Student-centered learning has been talked about in the last 2 decades in every platform, in every university. But less action is taken on that subject. It is only discussed. You don't find student-centered learning really in our classrooms in none of our universities. Now you have realized that this is important. Student-centered learning is important. You have to see how to make it happen in your classrooms. Now whoever is teaching. If you claim that yes, I am able to do student-centered learning, then tell me, I will come and visit. I will be student in your class and I will be eager to know how you are doing that teaching. Teaching is the biggest challenge. Because basically when you talk of the present education system, we call them as industrial model. It is relic of industrial civilization. It is just like, assembling television sets or assembling cars which are coming out of factories. Like that, we are all coming out of our universities. That kind of education, if it is given to 21st century generation, all our children, if that kind of education is transmitted, we don't know what will happen. We will not be really able to face the challenges. With the future challenges they have to face in their own lives. So we have to compete. I mentioned one important fact, that we stand on a platform now with the 21st century generation. They can compete. One child in Hyderabad can compete, another child in New York. Platform is there. That platform is there. Both are digital native generation. But what kind of education is being given to this child in our country, and what kind of education is being given to a child in New York, that is going to matter, and that will decide whether India and China are going to rule this world or not. Next 2-3 decades will decide which countries will rule in the process. Because now we have lagged behind, even if you compare with China. We are lagged behind by 2 decades or 3 decades. So we have to catch up whatever we have lost, and again we have to make progress in the world. Can you tell me what are the challenges? Because you have mentioned that I am very keen on this subject at my personal level. What are the challenges you feel that this wild card generation will face in the future? It is, as far as we are concerned, second green revolution. As far as we are concerned, climatic change. Climatic change will impact not only agriculture, it impacts all other sectors. But we are one. Then the challenges will be, let me quote some examples for your general knowledge. Nuclear fusion will be one challenge. Because ultimately, we have to replace the petroleum as a raw material for energy. We have to replace in the days to come the petrol with some other energy. Whether it is nuclear fission or whatever we call it, whether it is hydropower, wind power, so many options are there. But which becomes cost effective with the breakthroughs in technology, we don't know what is in store. Suddenly some new invention can take place and entire energy sector will undergo change. It will not be petroleum product that will be used as raw material for energy. Maybe after 10 years, it will be something else. So what is that something else? We have to wait and see. The one challenge which we can think of is interplanetary travel. Interplanetary travel. Theoretically it is possible. You can even travel at the speed of the light. At the speed of light also there is a possibility. Now one important point mentioned by you, which is repeated, that you cannot work in isolation. You not only work as a team, you need to collaborate. Unless 2-3 scientists from different fields, from diverse fields, unless you collaborate, there is not going to be any meaningful outcome in the research which you are going to do in the future. So it is not straitjacket research, it is collaborative research. That is very, very important. And as the science and technology is growing, we must also realize that the boundaries between the sciences, they are getting obliterated. Ultimately, I don't think biology has any future in the days to come. In the days to come, it is only one subject which will rule the entire world, and that is called science, it is physics. Because basis of matter, energy, relationship between matter and energy is going to be the science of future generations. What is the new subject, you know? What is that subject? You tell me one terminology which has created waves in the science field and everybody is waiting to see its implications. Robotics, it is one form, okay? Then nanotechnology. Artificial intelligence. Nanotechnology. Anything more? Any other response?
Picobiology.
Huh?
Picobiology.
It's only combination, that's all. Which is felt by others is an image that is real test for all of us. If we are gone, then what others? That means how much impact you have made on other lives is what you are. What you are is not your name, not your degree, not your end, not your that you are short or tall and beautiful. No, this is not what you are. The real thing is how much you have impacted on other lives, and other lives, what they say about you is what you are. So please have your brand image. God made you originals. You are first class original of your own, and there is nobody on the entire earth like you. You are unique. You have your own capabilities. You have your own passions. You have your own earning. You have your own satisfaction levels, and you have got capabilities which other person do not have. Different requirements are there for each of the commodities. If you want to export chili, no aflatoxin, zero aflatoxin. So from export angle, what is the potential available for Telangana crops and what are the obstacles is an important issue for all of us. I think Kiran, I request you to take one class on e-short, because extension I mentioned, digital platform, reaching the farmer through smartphone. That is the only extension method which will be available in the future. That's all. Okay? So, he has done some experiment in Sangareddy fruit station, where on a small scale he has enrolled farmers, he has enrolled scientists, and that app, there is an app